What's up, guys? So we just got back from watching Masters of the Universe, and this film, we went in with really low expectations. First off, this is a spoiler-free review. We will not have any spoilers in this. We will do a spoiler review later on, but the film itself, we went in with low expectations. We understood that the show back in the day, it was a kid's show, wacky, kind of crazy. It was very episodic in the same type of storylines and plots and things. Repetitive, very repetitive. And so, how are they going to do this? How are they going to make it, be a really cool interactive movie, right? A full-length feature film. And, they've done it before, but in today's modern day, like, how would they accomplish this? And was it going to be cheesy? Was it going to be something that we look back at and it's like, oh man, I wish they hadn't done that? No, I don't think that's what it was. We really did enjoy the film. We'll give our rating here at the end, but to start out, we will talk about Skeletor's look. Skeletor looked awesome. He really did. He looked epic, okay? The voice was done well. I love the voice. I thought it went together well. The problem that I had was that Skeletor was a little too silly. And that's a running theme throughout the movie. Throughout the movie, it's a little too silly. And that's what we got from it. That's the biggest thing that I would say was a problem, was that it was too silly. Now, I think what happens, and it's a common thing that happens today when we take adaptations of older children's franchises, children IPs, right? When we take those and we adapt them today, I think the problem is that a lot of people sit there and say, well, these kids loved it, and now they're adults and they know it was a silly show looking back on it, so let's just make it a silly movie and they'll be fine with that. Well, no, we're not. No, we're not. I want a good, serious Masters of the Universe movie, an epic movie. That's what I want. Did I get that? Not necessarily, but did I get a great film that I really enjoyed? Yes. I think the way they set this film up, anyone can enjoy it. I really do. There's two questions we want to answer before we go a little bit further. And I know everybody's going to ask, can you take your kids to this? No. Do not take your children to this. It is not... the terminology that is used, some of the innuendos that are used, is just don't take your kids to it. And then, is there post-credit scenes? Yes, there are three post-credit scenes. There's one directly after the film, mid-credits, and then end credits. So be sure to check all three of those out because it was all good post-credit scenes, not just throwaways. Now, like I said, Skeletor looked great. He was silly at times, and that was bothersome to us, but they had MCU comedy, Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that can be done really well. And there were times that it hit, it landed, and it did well, right? The comedy was done well. But then there were times where you had this important moment. You had this period where, we should be tense right now. There should be drama, and somebody cracks a joke. And it just felt out of place. It felt like this is not the time for that. This should have been more serious. Like I said, a lot of the jokes did do well, but some of them just were not at the right time, and it pulled us out a little bit. Now, the look of some of the bad guys in this was straight out of Halloween Town from Disney, and if you know, that's not a compliment. They could have done a little bit better with some of the details on those, but other than that, I think it was done well. The power scaling, if the comedy, the silliness was the worst problem, then this would be the second biggest problem, the power scaling. It was atrocious. Okay, you had, and this is no spoiler, in most action films, things like this, there's going to be some type of fight toward the beginning and a fight toward the end, right? Well, mostly the same people are in this fight in the beginning as the fight at the end. Well, the thing is, those same people are now on a very different power scale, and there is no reason to believe that they should be on a different power scale. It just completely twisted the power levels and the abilities of these people. So that to me was a miss. It was very frustrating to see that, hey, why is there this big jump all of a sudden? And why is this battle so different from the other one? It really shouldn't be, but it is, and I don't know why. So that was very frustrating. I can deal with power scaling problems to an extent. It's what we are used to nowadays. But gosh, it was atrocious, especially with that final battle. You guys will see. Now, one thing I'll say that was great, the female acting in this. Guys, the women in this, whew, you girls did a great job. You really, really did. Whether it was Tila, the sorceress, or Evil Lynn, absolutely amazing. Did a really, really great job. I think that all three of them did wonderful. It's not that the guys in this did a bad job. It's just they were okay. You know, they did the role, they did fine. But there was more depth and there was more to the women in it, and I think they did a really good job of how they laid it out. Now I know some people probably won't like Evil Lynn, but I think she did a good job of subtly showing some of the things that led her character to toward the end. So I think there was some really good stuff there. Overall, it was good. It was good. I think that it was a bit long, and there's things that we could have cut from it. I think we could have cut some of the humor, some of the silliness out. I think there was a couple dry periods, but for the most part, the pacing was done well. And it went over 2 hours. It was like 2 hours and 20 minutes. If they had cut this down just shy of 2 hours, I think it would have been more effective, more impactful. I think they did waste a little bit of runtime, but it wasn't overly, overwhelming. It wasn't like I was looking at my watch or anything like that. So, the power scaling was bad and stuff like that, but the acting overall was pretty good. The CGI was done pretty well from today's standards. It's kind of what we expect nowadays. So I think they did pretty good with the CGI. All the characters that were CGI'd were done pretty well. I think it was more of the less CGI'd characters that looked kind of like from Halloween Town and stuff like that. But overall, this film, I think we would have to rate it a 7 out of 10. It definitely beat our expectations. We did not expect this to be as good of a movie as it is. And I think the biggest thing about this is even if you don't like Masters of the Universe, even if you know nothing about it, you will like this film. I really wish I took my wife to this. I was anticipating, hey, I shouldn't take her to this one because I don't want to see this bulked up, built guy throughout this movie and feel emasculated and feel like inferior. But second off, guys, I thought that it would be a little dorky. I thought it would be a little bit into the lore and go deep into it, and it didn't. It didn't. It started off basic plot origin type stuff, and it did well to wrap everything up quickly, and it wasn't very nerdy, dorky, geeky in the way that it did it. So I think she really would have liked it, and I think the humor would have kept her into it. Again, a little too much silliness for my taste, but I think overall they went along with what they wanted. They wanted this to be something that everybody could enjoy, and I think non-Masters of the Universe fans will really like it. I think word of mouth's going to carry it. I think it's going to do really, really well even after this first weekend, because I think people will come out of this saying, this was really good. You need to go check it out. Oh, I'm not a Masters of the Universe fan. It doesn't matter. You need to check it out. It's a good movie. And so I think a lot of people will go like it. Do I think it's worth your ticket? Yes, I do. I think it's totally worth your ticket price. You should go check it out in theaters. I just think they did a really great job with it, and we should appreciate that. Now, you can wait for it to come out streaming platforms and things like that, but I would recommend going and checking it out in theaters. So what did you guys think if you went and watched this? Let us know in the comments down below. If you didn't, let us know why you're not going to watch it. You're just not a Masters of the Universe fan. Check out some of our other content on the channel, and if you did like this review, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We will do a spoiler review later on with some comedy etched in there from some of the things that were kind of quirky to us, but we'll catch you guys on the next video. And remember, Christ is King.